me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Hey guys, Alex here, GuitarForce.com. So in today's video we're going to take a look at Fuel by Metallica, and this was kindly requested and supported by Gary, so big thanks goes out to him for the support. In this video we're going to take a look at James Hetfield's part, which is the rhythm guitar, and the lead guitar and also the solo are going to be on a separate video, and it's going to be available on my Patreon page or on my website. All of the links are going to be down in the description box down below. Plus all of the tabs and the backing track to this song as well you can find on these sources. Now for the sound I was using the VST plugin Guitar Rig. I'm going to show you the picture of the preset right now. Also I'm going to try to make a playthrough of the entire song, and if YouTube allows it I will post it to my other channel, and you'll be able to find the link to that also in the description box down below. Now I'm going to show you the picture of the preset that I was using for this song, and we're going to be in half step down tuning on all the strings, just like the original recording. So while you are checking out the picture of the preset, here is my low E, which is E flat, half step down, for your tuning reference, so you can tune up and play along with this lesson. Alright, so we're going to break up this lesson into two parts. We're going to start off with James Hetfield's part, which is the rhythm guitar, and then in the second part we'll take a look at Kirk Hammett's, which is the lead guitar. So James Hetfield's part, we're also going to break it up into riffs and sections. So we're going to start off with the first riff, which goes like this. Alright, so what we have here is just a pull-offs going on the low E string from the 3rd fret to the open low E. So the sequence goes like this. You play the pull-off and you pick the low E string again, and you do it twice, and then third time you just play a pull-off, and then the riff starts off again. So it's basically you have two pull-offs in the end. So the last pull off, and then you basically start the riff again, so it goes into pull off followed by the picking of the low E string, and that's the sequence. So you have two pull offs followed by an open low E string, and then the last one, the third, is just a pull off, and then you go into the beginning of the riff again, basically. So without the stopping, slowly, it's gonna go like this. Now in the end we have some octaves going on. So the octave is the G octave, 3rd fret on the low E, 5th fret on the D. So you pick it, you slide up to the A, you pick it a few times. On the 3rd beat you pick the A octave, slide down to the G, pick it again, and then slide back up to the A octave. Alright? So just the octave is going to go like this slowly. And you include this in the end of the first part of the riff. Now, in the beginning, James is playing the pull-offs for 5 times. All right, so that riff plays it for 5 times, and then in the end includes the octaves. Then it's followed by playing the riff 3 times, and then so the first part of the riff. And then he plays the octaves again. Now here, the last time when he plays this octave, and it's also kind of a transitioning part to going for the second riff. So what we do here is we play the octaves, and you slide up to the A, back to the G, and then instead of sliding the whole octave, you go into... So this is the next riff basically. And it's also pretty straightforward, but it starts off with a slide on the A string from 5th fret to the 7th, and then we play the riff. So the riff, as you can see, also very simple. So after the slide 5 to 7 on A, then we go to the 7th fret on the D string, and we pick it 3 times. Then we go to the 5th fret with the slide bend here. Then onto the A string, 7th fret, and then again you kind of start it off again with the hammer on 5 to 7. Okay, like that. Now sometimes James is playing, instead of playing, picking the notes all the time 3 times, he just plays it as a quarter note, and then plays an 8th note going to the 5th fret with the bend. So it's... So he alternates, but because it's 2 guitars, you know, you get the sense that it's been played all the time 3 times. I mean, this is just a minor detail, but you know, you can play it like that if you want to. So kind of alternating with the quarter note, then an 8th note, or just picking it in straight 8 notes. Okay, so this happens every 1st and 3rd times if you want to play it like that. Alright, so that's the riff number 2, and then so we have the intro, which consists of these 2 parts, and then we go for the first verse. So before the verse again we have the pull-offs, the first riff. Alright, so we go into the verse, and it consists of the chords. So the first chord is going to be E power chord, then we go to the G. So each of these chords is being played for the whole bar. Then we are back to the E for 2 bars. So we stay on this chord for 2 bars, and in every verse James is playing kind of muted strings. They're all the time different, kind of rhythmical figure. So let me just demonstrate it how it goes. So in the beginning we have... So here in the first verse he just plays it 2 muted strings before going back to the beginning of the chord progression. So the second chord progression we have again E power chord, but then we have B going down chromatically to B flat to A. Now you can play them here on the low E string, like a 6-string root note. You can play them here if you want to, like that. So that's the chord progression for the verses, and then after that he goes back to playing the second riff, which is this one. So let me just play through the chord progression of the first verse. It's gonna go like this. Alright, so after that, again, we have a transitioning part which consists of the first riff, and then we go into the second verse. Now, the second verse is exactly the same, pretty much, so the same chord progression, and again, like I mentioned previously, we have a slightly different rhythmical pattern there with the muted strings. So let me just play it through and you'll see what I'm talking about. So it goes like this. Okay, so again, same thing, the E power chord, go into G, then we go back to E. Now here in the second ending we have, so we played 2 muted strings, then 1 muted strings, and slide out. Okay, so just these 2 bars, slowly they're gonna go like this. Alright, and then second part, again we have E power chord, going to B. Now here he includes open low E string as a passing note, then picks the chord again, goes to the B flat. And the same does with this, with the B flat. Okay, so the the low E string, it's like a passing note. So all together. And then we go into the second riff. Now this time, by the end of verse 2, when we play the second riff here, in the end there is this line, which is, so just hammering onto the 7th fret, picking it a few times, then we have a bend and release, then hammer on and slide out. So all together, just this part is going to go like this slowly. Okay, and then we go into the next part, which is the pre-chorus, and it's basically just playing the pull-offs, riff number 1, just like we did, but in the end he adds these harmonics. So it's just basically going on the low E from around 2nd fret, 2.5, something like that, going up like that, picking the string in an 8th notes. So let me just play it through. This pre-chorus riff slowly is gonna go like this. Okay, so we play the pull-offs riff 3 times, and then in the end just adding the harmonics like that, and then we go into the chorus. Alright, so the chorus riff, it has a couple of parts, so we're gonna break it up into 2 parts, and let me just play it through first part, and then we're gonna break it down. So slowly it's gonna go like this. Alright, so what we have here, now if we break it up into just chords, it's gonna be, harmony is gonna go like this. So we have an E chord, then we have A chord, power chord, then we have G, back to A. So that's just a harmony underneath this riff. So the riff itself is gonna go like this. We're gonna be playing pull-off on the A string, 7 to 5, and then it's followed by the note which is in the harmony. So the first, in the beginning, we have the low E string, so it's open, and we play it palm muted, so it's, and then we play the E note 2 times on the 7th fret of the A string. So we have, then it's followed by 2 palm muted low E's again. So basically repeat the same thing twice. So we have, then the harmony goes to A. So we're going to be still playing the pull-off here, but now the bass note, it changes to the A note. So right here on the 5th fret of the low E string, and it becomes... Okay, we played 2 times, and then the harmony changes to the G, like I said, and now we move from the 5th fret down to the 3rd, but the pull-offs are staying the same. So you're gonna have to make an adjustment here with the now pulling off with the pinky because we're in this position right here, and it's just easier to play it like this. So we played 2 times, and then we're back to the A again. So we have, and in the end, when we finish the first round of this chorus, we play the low E, now open, palm muted. So that's pretty much it for the chorus, for the first part, as far as it goes. So as you can see, we have the same pull off on the same note. So the only thing is we're changing the bass note here. Alright, so let me just play through this part slowly. It's gonna go like this. And also keep in mind again that the bass notes, we're playing them with the palm mute. Alright, so this first part is gonna go like this slowly. Alright, now we go into the second part, and it's pretty much the same thing with the exception of the ending. So again, harmonically speaking, we have an E chord, then we have the A, and then we go to the C chord, and then D, the ending. Now, these are the chords, but the rhythm, you'll see it goes a little bit differently as far as the bass notes, and it's just easier to play them here on the low E. You'll see why, because of the pull-offs. So the first part again is the same. Now we get up to this point, and then we have... So as we finished off here with the A, and then we have hammer on 5 to 8 to the from A to C notes on the low E, like that, or you can play it with the palm mute. And then we have the same pull off, but now we're alternating it with the C notes. Okay, so that's why I'm using pinky right here. So we have 2 times, and then we simply continue sliding to the D note right here on the low E string, and now this is the only difference here. When we have to shift, the pull-offs are going to be in the position of the 9th and 7th fret. So we have like that. So we slide into the D note and then playing the pull-offs, but moved up 2 frets up. Okay, like that. So that's the only difference with the first part. So let me play through the second part all together slowly. It's gonna go like this. So in the end there, I'm just picking that F sharp note, you know, either with the quarter notes or the second time around when he plays it, he just picks it in 8th notes, like that. All right, but that's pretty much it for the chorus riff. So as you can see, it's 2 parts. The chord progression pretty much is the same, with the exception of the second time we add the C and the D chords. Alright, so after the chorus we go back to playing the kind of the transitional part, which is just the pull-offs, the first riff. And then we have a stop right here by playing the low E power chord. Alright, so far we've covered the intro, the first two verses, the pre-chorus, the chorus, and pretty much after that the whole song, the structure of it repeats. So instead of playing intro, of course, we go right into the verses number 3 and 4, and then it's followed by pre-chorus and the chorus. It's exactly the same thing, so we're not going to spend any time on that. With the slight variations there in the verses with the with the muted strings right there, but it's not a big it's not of that significance, so we're gonna skip that, and we're gonna go into the interlude or the bridge part before the solo. So first I'm gonna play it through, then we're gonna break it up. So the first part is gonna go like this. Okay, so here, this is the first part. So what we have here is we have a double stop, which is a part of the A chord, but apparently they're just playing the double stop. Or you can look at it as the A chord with the E in the bass. Just to give it a little bit more kind of heavier sound. Anyway, so we have 3 times we play these double stop. And then we just go simply 2 frets down, stay on this double stop a little bit, and then we have a slide out from the 7th fret on the low E and the A strings. So this double stop, sliding out, followed by palm muted, 4 hits of the low E power chord in quarter notes. Then again we play the first part with the slide into that double stop right here. Second time we play the low E power chord twice, and then it's followed by the G power chord, and you let it ring out. And basically that's the first part of this riff. So again, one more time slowly, it's gonna go like this. So this riff we played for 4 times, and then the song develops. So they play pretty much the same thing, but alternating it slightly. So let's break down that part. So it's gonna go like this. Okay, so here again, same structure, playing the double stop 3 times, then going down 2 frets. And now here we have followed, before we played the double stop on the low E and the A strings and sliding out, but here we're palm muting them, playing it twice, so 2 8th notes. Sorry, it's a little bit faster, so we have, so right here we play it twice, and then we stay on this second double stop right here on the 5th fret, sliding out, and then we play 2 times the low E. So that's the first part. Then again we repeat the same thing, but right here now, so we're staying on the 5th fret double stop a little bit longer, and then this is just like a passing notes, passing double stop, going back to the 5th fret again, adding some vibrato, and then again we have like a passing double stop here, and getting back to the beginning of the of this part of the riff. Now the second time when we get to the 5th fret right here, and as you can see in the tablature, there is a so he's hitting the double stop and then plays the bend and release on the same double stop, and then slides out. So he does a couple of bends right here and slides out. And going back to the beginning of this second part again. So that's pretty much it for the interlude, for this middle part. Let me just quickly play through these two parts again. And after that part, we go into the second riff, which is okay, and then we go into the so the solo part. And again, the solo part, we're gonna break it down here. It's pretty much a combination of the first riff. So again, we have. So we play this part for 2 times, and then second time, or the second round of the solo is slightly different rhythmically, so it's going to go like this. Okay, so here we have the G power chord. We play the G power chord, pull off to open low E string, pick it again, and then pick the G chord twice. We play it for 3 times, and then in the end, the first time again, we have the octaves. Back to the beginning of this riff, and then second ending is gonna be. So just going down chromatically, a G, F sharp to F, and that's the rhythm part for the solo. All right, so after the solo, if I'm correct, we go to the pre-chorus riff, which is. So with the harmonics there in the end, and then we go into the chorus. All right, and the second part of the chorus, I'm not going to be playing it, and I think we play the chorus twice, and then again back to the first riff. And then we're going to for the second riff. And I think we end it like that. So the second riff, it's exactly the same as in the beginning. The only difference there in the end when we have. So we go to the hammer-on 5-7 and then slightly bending the string, but picking it in an 8th note rhythm, and then of course ending with the E power chord. Now structure-wise, it's pretty much very simple. I'm not going to be explaining that. We covered all of the riffs, and I'm sure that you're going to be able to put them all together. Just listen carefully to the song for the structure. They are all repeated pretty much, and yeah, so that was the rhythm guitar of James Hetfield.